Let's get started demo first of role-based access in .NET MAUI. So here my application running in desktop app and also Android app. And now I'm trying to log in with the admin user. So let me sign in first in our desktop app. So once you sign in, so here that list binding of hotel management system, and we have many other options as well. Like we can just edit, delete. Like if, for example, if I click the edit, so I can do that edit and all, right? So once you go back, so now once I click that this menu, now see you are able to see this is that admin role, right? So if it is admin role, that means we have that access for that user management system as well. So once I see this user tabs, that means I am able to see that manage that user. So once I click that user, now able to see that all that users, so which I have that in this particular application. So once I just right click, and I'm also able to see this edit and delete options. That means this user, this user, admin user, can able to do that edit as well as the delete options as well, right? So let me, for example, let me click the delete. So it will asking, okay, if you want to delete, so it once you click, so it will be delete. So once you cancel, I'm not trying to delete over here, so but yeah, there is an option to delete. So that is actually based on that role based access in this .NET MAUI. So what I will do, I'll show you where actually we don't have an access, right? So let me just log out this this user, right? And let's just log in with the user, which have only just ability to see that user page. So once you logged in, so see now still this user has able to see that user tab, but once I just click this, so you are able to see that that all the list. That means this user again have that able to see that user list, but they don't have other options like edit and delete. Now see, this time this flag or these options, actually it is not enable, right? It is a disable. So that means this user, that user role, whatever that a user have that role, they don't have an delete and edit options. Only they can view that that user, right? Similar, if I just try to sign out and logged in with another role which has something HR role, right? Suppose we have a HR role and sign in. Once you sign in, now see, first of all, whatever that role of hotel management system, hotel management list we are getting, they actually require that particular permission, like if they have to admin role or user role, so that time they can returning back and given that result, right? So that list will binding based on that role. But in this HR role does not have that, even that hotel management list binding as well. So what it will do, it will show, okay, you are unauthorized. So once I click OK, and once I click that tab, now see, in this user management role not appearing over here. Why? Because this HR has a HR role, so HR role does not have actually contain that user tab, so that's why it is not visible. So like this actually we will implement in this session. Same thing we can do this over here as well, Android application, because both are same. It is a multi-platform application. So what I will do, I'll show you same things for our Android application. So first I'm login with the admin. So once I click that admin, it's just logged in, and I'm able to see that hotel list, and also we can see that all that options. For example, I'm able to see edit and delete options. Once I click that edit, so I'm able to edit and all, right? And so for example, now I'm going to that user, I'm able to see that user as well as that edit and delete options. So once I click edit, so I'm able to edit because I have a user, I am ability to access for that particular section because I am an admin user. So for example, it is an admin user, right? So that means I am able to do anything. So for example, once I click the delete, if I click the OK, so it will be delete. Okay, let me cancel it. And same things, what I will do, I will change to that user with the user role. So as of now see, so once I click edit, now you're able to see this user has only just user role, right? So let me logged out this user, sign out this user. So once you signed out, now you are able to see you have to log in with the another user. So let me try to logged in with that user role and sign in. So once you sign in, so now you are able to see this is that logged in with the user, and user still have that user because we have to allow, okay, this user should have to visible this flag, means this navigation. But once I click that user, so now see, this time does not appearing that swipe, because that edit and delete does not have this user, this user does not have that access. So that's why user does not have anything to do over here, like right swipe, left swipe, nothing will happen, because that option not visible for that user. So user does not need can able to do that edit and delete options, right? So what I can do for that, so let me logged out with another user and show you that user should not have to access to that user tab as well. So what I will do, I will just sign out. Let me sign out. Now you're able to see here they asking to logged in again. So let me logged in with the HR user and sign in. Now see, you're able to see these options. That means this hotel list not able to get access of that particular HR role, right? So that means it is fine, perfectly fine. It is showing okay, this user does not have a role which we can get that list of that hotel hotel list, right? So that means it is fine once you okay. And also once you click this guy tab, so this is also you are not able to see that user role. That means that user also have that, does not have that role, this particular HR, right? So that we will implement this session. So let's start to implementation. So before I start to implementation, I'm especially recommend, if you first time visit my channel, so go to my channel, which is .NET Real World Example, and here you can just watch this session before start this one, because we have to implement how we can manage that user management system using that Firebase Auth, right? So step by step guide I am just completed, and this is that complete series actually we are taking care. So this is that last one, that series. So yeah, we can continue this one, then move forward to this session, so that you can get idea actually how we can build this complete whatever you show in the demo, right? So that application how we are trying to build to step by step for the session. So, and also apart from this, if you want to learn more about that Blazor hybrid app and all, so you can check out my another session as well. Now see, this is that complete session also we have just created. It is a 5 hours, 530 hours. So you can just build complete your Blazor Blazor hybrid app application with using user management system and hotel management system, complete end to end, start to end, and it is a real world example as well. So that's all. You can just check out if you want to any other things you want to learn, so you can learn many things over here actually for the real world example. So that's all. Now go move it to that implementation. So I will take that same example which I have covered the last time. So this is my in my GitHub link, you can get it from there. And now this is I just extracted over here, so I'm trying to open. So let me open in our Visual Studio. So now it is open in my Visual Studio over here. This is same sample application which we have actually step by step we have tried to covering to complete. So I will taking same one. So this is that, and what I will do before I start to implementation, I will show you how actually what we have existing implementation, and then we have to implement that role with access. So let me try to run in our first window application. Now my application running in our window app, right? And simply what I will do, I will log in with this admin user. So once I log in, now I'm able to see that list of that hotel list, as well as I can see that user management system, right? But here they don't have a role based access, so everybody can actually add, delete, and everything we can do it, right? So let me show you. Let me suppose this is admin user, so that is fine. I am able to add new user. So let me show you. I'm just add that new user, for example user role, and suppose a test user, and that test @gmail.com, and phone numbers, for example +91 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and password would be whatever password I want, so I can keep it that password over here, and let me save it. So save it is saved successfully. Okay, now once you save, you are able to see that user. That means I'm able to add this user, any user in this admin role, right? So let me sign out. So let me log in with that new user. So that is, I guess, test user, right? We have to create, and password would be same. I keep it same actually. So yeah, it is logged in. And once you logged in, now if you go to that user, so once you go to that user, now you are able to see that all that list over here, right? And if I want to, so see, once I right click, I'm able to see the edit and delete as well, right? So let me try to delete. So yeah, let me try to delete so that I will show you. So once you try to delete, okay, so now see, it's deleted. So that means this is that problem. So that we have to implement here. So that user means that user role does not have that, that permission of that edit and delete and add as well, right? So that we have to prevent. And also we have to just restrict. Okay, so if that particular user does not have that permission to show that tab, so also we have to manage that, how we can just show and hide that tab as well, right? So yeah, let me close that and let me start that implementation. So what I need to do first actually we have to go to that, in this application, go to that sign in model, because in the sign in model we have to actually store whatever that role we have to get it, like whatever the role that particular user, we have to get it and store in our local storage. So that we have to do that. So for that, what I need to do, I have to just after that fly out, okay, after fly out I will just need to call one another API which will returning that particular user information, right? Because in this user does not have that that role and other information, right? So let me show you what I mean. So let me just click over here and let me run it again. So my application running, and thus it is admin sign in. So once I sign in, so let me, okay, so let me debug for further. And now see, we have get that result. Once I sign in, I will get that response, right? And in this response we have that auth credentials. That is fine, whatever auth and email ID and password we have. And then if I just expand more in the user section, now we have that information of that user which have the display name, email, and this one, but there is no actually that role and that permission information over here, right? Because we have to record that custom claim information. That claim does not appearing actually here. So if I see credentials also, so in this credentials also we have this information but not custom claim. So for that custom claim we required call on one of the API which will returning that. Okay, so how we can call it? Simply whatever we have done in last session, right? We have to use one of that implementation which is called Firebase Auth, and in this Firebase Auth default instance dot get user, right? So in this get user, see, in this get user there's a two way. Like if you pass that null, so it will returning all that get user, and if you pass that particular ID, so it will returning that particular ID information. So what I will do, simply whatever logged in, successfully logged in, so I have that information over here, that result dot, for example, we have that response over here, right? So result dot user dot uuid. So this is that particular user which is be trying to logged in, right? If it is successfully logged in, so we have checking over here. If it is successfully logged in, then we have to get that user ID, and based on that user ID we will get that user information, and in this information we have that that custom claim information. So let me show you actually what we have. So yeah, before that actually let me just store it, then I will show you like what I mean, what we are trying to do over here. So let me just store another variable over here, like for example user claims or current user roles, right? And in this current user roles, what we have here, like user dot, yeah, see there's a property, this called a custom claims, and here what we trying to do, I have to just filter in here. So what we trying to filter actually, that need to filter, for example, x we put that lambda expression and dot that value, right? So whatever custom have that value, we have to get it over here, and also we have to actually, this is that object, right? So we have to just pass it as a, convert it as a bool, because we have storage as a bool value over here. And then what we're trying to do, to list, and this to list dot select, and in this select again we have to just use, for example, this, right? And this is that value, and then we have to get that whatever that, this custom claims have that value, right? That we have to change it to, we have to map it, right? We have already done it, so that's why I am not explaining, but yeah, we have to actually we have actually storing the data as like for example, I will show you as a token how we are actually storing the data. So data is storing like that. Okay, if user has a user role, or if has a user admin, so is admin is user, like that actually we have to store in this custom claims. So that value also we have that, okay, is admin is true or is user is false, like that actually we were storing. So that's we have to trying to get, again we have to convert it over here. So let me try to convert over here, for example, that l dot key. So right, see, there's a two things, right? There's a key and value, right? So we have to key, so whatever key we have to map it, and that map, and we have to returning to not first and default, we have to returning the to list. Okay, and see, this will be written actually is admin is admin is user, like that. So what we have to do, we have to map it. So how we can map it, there's a many way, but I will use over here like that. We can create a dictionary so that you can easily understand actually. So see, now we have that key, like such kind of this, we have storing the key like is admin is user, is admin true, is user true, or is HR false, is account false, like that we have to storing in our claims while logged in, right? So like that we have to revert it back, like suppose we have storing as a is admin, right? So I want to change it is admin to admin, I want to change to is user to user, like that. So that's why we have to create this map and go back to here and just change it to this map, like suppose key map over here, right? And in this map I just change like that particular, it is a dictionary item, right? So simply I can pass it that key over here, and it will returning back, and whatever I just filter is okay, whatever you know claims has that true value, only they will filter, right? Suppose for example, I just one of the user like admin user, right? So in admin user has a two roles which have true and other two is false, right? So in this case I will get only the two roles like admin and user, right? So that's why actually I'm trying to do this filter. So once I filter over here, what I need to do, I have to actually just this is the list of string, right? So what I will do, I can ideally keep it same way, but yeah, I will show you, because as like we show in our user list as a comma separated value. So what I will do, I will again just store as a comma separated value. So what I can do in this case, I can simply using the join, and whatever that list I want to comma separate it, I can use the delimiter, and then comma this second parameter, your list parameter, and keep it like that. Okay, so just simply I just comma separate string over here, and then what I will do, I have to store as a local storage in .NET MAUI. So how we can do that, it is very simple. Again I will use that await, and in this await we have that secure storage. So this is secure storage, actually this is a Microsoft MAUI storage, secure storage as a package, but is automatically we have in this .NET MAUI. So we can use this is this package and use that set, or just you can just use a default, right? Local storage and then secure storage, I guess, yeah, I missed that. Okay, secure storage dot default, either two way actually you can use that, but if you use that default, that means it will make in a static one. So let me use that set value default dot set async, And in the set string there is a two things actually. You can just pass as a key and then value. What would be the key? So key would be, for example, I will use as a current role. So this is my current role, right? And then what would be my value? Value would be like this, right? So similar, I will storing another value, for example our credentials, right? So as of now we don't require, but yeah, if you required, if you want to change, if you want to use that credentials, so that you can use it. For example, let me store it as a user info, and this user info, so what we have to store it, we store it as a result. So let me store it that result dot user dot credentials. So see, this is that credential which will keep it all that, you know, the token, refresh token and all. So that's why I will keep it this guy, so that if I require, you know, any API call and all, we have to we can use it that from that local storage. We don't need to again call that, you know, any other API or any other user informations, right? So that we can keep it, store it over here, and then we can use it. So for that, actually they actually require that string value. So for we have to convert it as a string. So what I will do, I can simply use it that guy, JSON serializer, okay? And this is, it is coming from text.json actually. So let me, yeah, using this package, and that's it, right? So let me terminate. Okay, yeah. So like that, we have to keep these two information so that we can use in further in our application. Like if we required any user related information, like we required a token, we required a refresh token, so like that we can use it this key. And if I require that user information like user access role and all, so that we can use this value. So like that we can use it. And there is another way also, and preference which we have to we have that, you know, we have in our .NET MAUI application as well, in a mobile application, so that we can keep it that way. But yeah, I will use it that. But yeah, one more thing actually. So before storing over here, what I need to do, we have to check, okay, if already exists, so we have to remove it and then we can store it. Okay, so see, now we have that same secure storage has another options, like we have that remove options. So we can first actually remove whatever existing background, because see, this is that sign in page, right? So once you sign in, so first we have to remove everything, then we have to just fresh whatever the latest information, we can keep it over here, right? So like that, this is the way we have to do that, right? So that is done, right? So once it's done, now what I will do, I have to just create one of the common function which will can handle, okay, that particular user has what are the role, right? So suppose this is the role, so what is that meet that particular user role or not? So based on this we can show, okay, you are able to access or not, we can dependent on all, right? So let me just create it that common function over here. Let me right click on that, create a common folder, for example here, and let me create a new folder, common. And in this common folder I will just create a one of that utility so that I can use it. But yeah, whatever that name you want, you can just refer that name, but I will use, right click on that, create a new class, and use that utility or something is a common service, we can use it, right? So now I will use this guy, public and class, or also you can make it static, but yeah, I will create a static method. So let me just create one of that static method so that I can get it that I can able to see, okay, this role, suppose see, I'll just create a check user role method. We will pass that whatever roles that that user have, right? Suppose user have that admin role, user can has a multiple role, right? So that we have to pass it over here, right? That particular section, and this particular section, suppose I pass that, you know, admin and the user, and that the admin and user have that belong to that current user, so that means it will returning true, otherwise it will returning false, like that, right? So what I can do, simply I just need to get it that, you know, see, I'm just returning back to that data whatever we are storing while sign in. So this is that get async method. I can pass that key, so I will get that whatever roles we have stored it, right? For example, see, I just storing like that, right? Set default. So simply if I want to get it, so simply I can pass it that key, I will get that data. Once I get the data, I have to just split that. So now see, I'm just splitting that, right? Because again I have to convert it to the string array. So that why I'm using that splitting method and that converting as a string array, right? And then what I can do, I can use a common elements, right? So let me just try as a common elements. So what I can do, I have to just map it, okay? So suppose whatever roles I am just passing and whatever our current role, right? So see that role, whatever role inserts intersect, like that means we have to compare, okay? So whatever roles we have that both array, that is match or not. If it is match, so it will returning that data, right? That particular data will be returning. If it is not, so it will returning that 0, right? So in this case we can just simple put a one conditions, right? And also just bring back, it is nothing, just a case sensitive things, so that's why I'm just putting over here. And finally we have check, okay, if it is count greater than 0, that means we have role which it is matched in our current role, right? Whatever role we are passing, so that is match that particular user, so that means it is true. Like that we have to implement. So once I implement, now we are good to call this method and we can use it, right? So this is that my utility. And now go to uh, go to that section where I want to implement this first. Actually, let me implement in our app shell, right? Because in this app shell, in this app shell actually we have to bind our menu, right? So whatever that menu items, we have to bind it over here. So for example, this user means this is the tab which will show in that menu. So this user we have to show based on that flag, right? If it is match, user match, so it will show. If it is not, that it will hide, right? So what I can do for that, I have also created that view model, this app shell view model. So go to that app shell view model. Where is that app shell view model? Yeah, here's my app shell view model. So in here what I can do, I can create another method which I can call it over here, that utility method. So let me call that method over here quickly and just create this method, for example this, right? And in this method what we're trying to do, let me call this await and that utility, right? Utility dot check that method, and whatever role you want uh, this particular menu item, so you can just pass it, right? So for this what I can do, simply I'll just create a constant value for this here and just make it, for example, see, menu access for that user, or just user menu access, right? So let me user, or let me create a user, user menu access. And so for first I will show you that I will add only just user menu access only for that admin, right? So that I can keep it over here and simply I can pass it to that guy, so that it will compare that particular logged in user. So if it is matched that admin for that user role, so it will returning true, either it will false, right? And what I can do, I have to just create another property which we can store, okay, it is a true, based on the true false we can store it, right? So let me just create another property. So we have to just create a observable, and using that is menu access, or just you can use that is user menu access, for because we have many items, right? So that's why we can identify, okay, which tab actually, which menu we're trying to access or not. So it is a for menu user, for that user menu, so I will keep it that user menu. And for that we can just simply is user menu access, and then store it, whatever that result we can keep it over here, and copy that same value, go back to your app shell, app shell XAML file, and here we have that is visible. Yeah, we have that is visible. We can simply bind it and we can use that is access menu. Right now, see, based on this flag we can show and hide that particular user access. Right, so let me save it, and we are good, I guess. Okay, so let me build it and see. Now only we have to handle that, a tab, right, menu item, but yeah, we will handle also that, add edit part as well, that particular user list as well. So let me show you one by one so that you can easily digest and understand. So let me run it and see if there any issue we can handle. Now application got running. Now see, just try to log in with the admin user. So sign in, and also, yeah, one more thing I want to show you. So see, this is sign in function. So go to here. Now we are getting over here, and now we are getting the tab. Okay, so I will show you that credentials. So let me open the credentials and copy this token. So this is the token which I can copy from here, right? So yeah, this is the token. I just copy over here and just open. I'll, for that understanding processing, JWT IO, open that, because how actually we are storing the data, right? So that I want to show you. JW, and go down, pasted your token, whatever we copied. So yeah, let me remove this guy and also remove this guy. Okay, and now see, we have stored the data as a claim data like that. So that's why actually we have keep it like that, right? So if any user has that role, multiple role, like is admin, is HR, so based on this flag, either is true or false, we have storing actually, right? So that's why, so that is fine. And also if you further move it, right, so this is fine. Okay, now we are get that user information also, and in this user information, now see, we have that claim, right? So once you expand, now see that claims we have. Okay, is admin is true, that means this user has a is admin in true, and we can keep it and we can run it. Now see, our application got running, and now we are not able to see that flag, right? Why? That means we have missed something, right? So that we have to handle it, right? That I was assuming, but yeah. Okay, so what actually missing? So stop that application, go to that app shell, uh that code behind file. Now see, this app shell actually running on that constructor level, but we have not calling that newly method we have to create it, right? So that we have to call it as a lifecycle hook method. So which lifecycle hook method we have to create it? So let me go to that override method, and we have many lifecycle hook like on appearing and all, but in this our case we required here on navigation, because every time once we are navigate, we have to check, okay, what is that role, and based on this we can show it. Okay, so I will use that on navigated, right? And in this on navigated, simply I can call that method over here, await, and using that app shell view model, and can access menu, and we have to just call it this guy. Okay, so once you call this method in this app shell lifecycle root method, it will go to over here, and whatever that particular user role, that user menu, it will update it over here. So that part was missing. So okay, let me try to run again. Now application is running, opening over here, and sign in, and just remove this guy now, and continue. And once I continue, click on that tab, now we are able to see that user, right? And if I go to here, now easily we can do add and edit, right? So that is perfectly fine. Okay, so let me do one thing now. Let me try to create another user which is that does not have an admin role, and we'll see that user can have able to see that flag and not this menu or not, right? So for that, let me try to add a new user, for example user, and user at the rate gmail.com. Phone number might be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and password would be my default password. Save successfully. Okay, Now see, we have a particular role, particular user we have created. Once I add it, now see that user has a user role, right? So let me cancel and sign out. So once I sign out and just sign in with that user, so for example user, and sign in. So now I'm signing, and here now see, I'm not able to see that user, right? That tab, because that user does not have that role, because we have specify only that user role, right? Where I can specify, yeah, I specify in that app shall view model. See, we have just specify, okay, this user menu has only admin role. If I assign that another role like in comma user, so that time I will able to see that, right? So let me show you that one also. So let me show you that. Okay, so now if user also this user menu, if admin and user, both user can able to see that things. Okay, so let me run it again and show you. So now it's fine. And also if I go to that user, sign in, now see, now I'm able to see that. And now if I have that, now we can see edit and delete. Now see, this is that another problem, right? Because user should able to see, that is fine, but user should not have that edit and delete role as well, right? So that we will restrict for now. But yeah, before that I will show you in a mobile application how look like. Okay, so let me close that and let me change it to window application to that Android application. So stop that, change to that emulator and run this application. Okay, now application deploy on Android, and this is admin. So let me try to admin first and run sign in. Now I'm logged in with the admin user, and I'm able to see that user. Once I click that user, I'm able to do that add and edit as well, right? So that is fine. But once I sign out, but in this case what I can do, I can just remove this guy, because if I allow this guy, so both user can able to see those things, right? So in this case again, let me try to run, yeah, and just change that user, so it as a user. And once I sign in, now I'm logged in, and once I logged in, now see, I'm not able to see that that tab, right? The user tab, because this user we are not able to allow to access to see that one, right? So like that actually we can handle all the tabs, like which one we have to show which user and not, so that you can easily handle, right? So that is done. But now what I have to do, implement, I have to just implement that after suppose I am allowed to access that some user to that tab, but we have to prevent, okay, inside that user does not have to permission, like okay, they can use edit and delete, right? So that we have to prevent. So how we can do that? For that again, it's simple. We have to go where actually we want to prevent, so we have to go that place. So for here, that user model, right? So in this user model we have to bind that list, whatever that user list, right? So here whatever list we are binding, so we have to prevent over here, like in this user view model, as well as our where is that view, yeah, so that user page, right? So this user page has those swipe button and also fly out button, right? Fly out menu. So we have to restrict over here, so that the user can only see that option but not able to do that, right? So for that, first we have to implement in our view model. So where is our view model? It is a user view model, and in this user view model we have to specify again that two property. For example that first let me add those value, like, so see, like edit access and delete access. So I am allow that edit access for admin, delete access for also admin, right? If you want to more roles, so we can just increase our roles, right? And this is one thing. So now second things, we have to require the two property, right? Can edit and can delete, right? So suppose this can edit and can delete flag, based on this flag we will we can control in our UI, right? So that's why we have to just created this guy. And once it's done, now what I can do on the load section, because in this load section we have to update this two property, what actually that current role and all, right? So in this case we have to just call that utility functionality, right? Utility and dot that get role access, and suppose this is for that edit access, right? So let me edit access, we pass that edit access, and we can assigning over here can edit, and then simply assign to this guy, and also we can use that public property. So like that, same way we can use that can delete, right? So this is public property, and use that same things, whatever we have, but yeah, this here we will change for delete access, right? So now this is fine, and once it's done, now nothing need to do over here, that is perfectly fine. Also that other things also we can do that, like see, this is that add click, right? So once a user click add, here also we can restrict for that flag, like okay, if it is can edit, can delete, so based on this flag we can just prevent over here, and we can show that pop-up message as well. So that way also you can handle, but yeah, that's up to you how we can handle it. But yeah, this is the way, all the way I'm trying to explain over here. And then go to that main user page XAML part, and in the XAML part we have to handle that flag, like can edit, can delete, right? So how we can do that? It is very simple. So let me try to show you how we can do that. So as like we have done for this other things, right? Like suppose this command, so same things we can do, just copy for this complete command, right? And just copy, and once you copy, because we have that user that property inside that view model, right? So that's why we have to try to access like this way, like we have to using binding, then source, and then relevant path, right? Relevant source, and then we have to specify the view model, and then we have to get that name, right? Whatever name. So let me do like that, and what I can do over here, if we have that is visible flag, so is visible or is editable enable, so but I will use that is visible, and pass it to that complete command, right? Complete code, and here simply you can change it to can edit, right? Because can edit is our new property which have that ideally it's true or false. So based on this true or false can edit, it will handle and it show it, right? Same things you can just copy again for this delete also, because this is that edit, right? And this is delete swap. In this delete swap, what I can do, simply I can edit to can delete, because I just make it that property as a delete. So let me create as a delete. Okay, so now we have done for that swap functionality, and as well as we have to do that for desktop app, because this swap view is not working for the desktop app. So we have to handle a different way over here, as like already we have handled like that. So similar thing we can handle again, we have to copy for that swap view, how we can handle, right? For that flyout, so same things. But here in the desktop app, actually see there's a not two options, there's only one option, is enable flag, is enable property. Actually there's a no is visible property, so we can use that is enable only, and we can simply pass it over here. And for here we can simply can use this can edit instead of can command, right? And same things we can just copy again for the delete one also. So where is the delete one? Here's the delete one, and let me create over here and change it to can delete. So both platform we can handle like that. Yeah, this is that one. So that is done. Now we are good to see the changes, right? So let me try to run first, let me try to run in our window machine. So my application got running, and yeah, I think for admin user, so let me see in admin user it's working fine or not. So because we have to check first that real scenario. So see, the user is appearing, that is fine. Once I click that user, I'm able to see that. And if I want to add something, suppose for example add it, and let me try to edit for user 1 and just save it. So yeah, that means it is perfectly working fine, that it is got updated. But yeah, for updated with the another user, for admin is fine, admin can do everything, that is fine. But for other user, so that should not able to do that, right? So let me try to sign out and let me change it to user. So we have already changed it, so let me logged in, and in this case you are not able to see that user, right? So that is fine, right? Because we have to prevent that view model, we have only show that user for that only admin access, right? So what I can do, I just simply for testing purpose perspective, I will allow that user have that that permission, so that I can able to see visible that item. And then further we have to check, okay, that add and edit of option should not able to do that particular user. So let me close it, or let me sign out and close it, and go back to again that view model, app view model, and here simply I just allow to that menu access for both admin and user also. Save it and run it. Now application got running. Sign in. Oh, by mistake I running the admin. Okay, so let me, yeah, it is visible, that is fine. Let me sign out and change it to user. That user sign in. Now I'm able to see that user, right? That is fine because we are forcefully allow. And once I users click, now see, I'm able to see that to user, right? And now this user should not have permission to allow anything like add, update, delete as well, right? So what I can do, simply I can just click over here. Now see, I'm not able to see that edit and delete options, right? But it is also, see, that add one also, I think similar permission to we have to give it over here. But yeah, it is visible. So once I click on add, now see, I'm able to see that options, and I can add the new user. So that is a problem. So what I can do, I have to add that add user also. We can restrict that add user also. So how we can do that? Simply nothing, we have to set that flag. So go to that user page. Where is that our user page? And in this user page, where is that add button? So we have that add button on the top, I guess. Yeah, we have the top. And here we can check, is there any property for that button? So is, yeah, is enable, disable over there. So if you want to visible or disable, so we can do that. Yeah, but what I will do that for visible, so that I don't want to show that option. So what I can do, I think here we can simply bind directly, because it is a can edit. Yeah, we can bind it directly over here. Save it and run it. So this time that user should not able to add also. So let me try to run with this logged in with the user, sign in. Now add option is for that another part, but yeah, click on that user. Now see, that add button is gone. So nobody, this user, if does not have admin role, so nothing they can do that, only can just can view that user information, right? That's it. So like that way we can easily handle, right, that user role and permissions, right? And what else? Yeah, so one more thing actually we want to show you. Suppose some user does not have that user role, right? But that data also, suppose for example I show you on the starting, suppose this is have that few permission actually provide, like in this Firebase real-time database, like only user and admin can see this role, right? So if does not have, so definitely we have that error. But this time we don't have anything, so that we will handle also. So what I mean actually, so let me show you. For example, let me create another user. So as of now I cannot able to create another user. So what I can do, simply I can sign out and let me go to let me log in with admin user so that I can create a new user. And this time I will create a new add a new user, and let me add that HR, right? And hr@gmail.com, and for example 9112345678910910, and then password would be my default password. And then I will give you this user the HRN account. Okay, and save it. Yeah, save successfully. Now I'm able to see that new user which have that HRN account, and let me sign out, right? And once I use that new user, suppose HR, and sign in, now I'm getting that error because this user, okay, this user also have that permission, I guess. Okay, account and admin. Okay, might be there's a different rules be upset, but yeah, if does not have, so it should not able to see. Now see, okay, let me see actually what that rules actually be upset for this this database. So might be there is some issue. So go to that Firebase console and logged in with that user. So this is my user logged in, and which is my actually we are using the database. So let me check what is the database we are using. So we are using database for yeah, so we are using database Firebase real-time DB, right? So real-time DB we are trying to use. So go back to your browser, Firebase real-time DB, yeah, this one, and go to that real-time database and rules. Okay, now see, we have not set any rules actually. So only authenticated can user can do it, or otherwise read also authenticate rule. But yeah, we can specify some rules as well. So let me try to add some rules. So go back to other DB, actually we already set, so we can simply set that rules. So where is my other DB? Go back to the main application, yeah, Firebase secure one. If you go to that one, because I don't want to write that rules, so that's why I want to copy from here. Go to that rule section, and here now see, I want to copy this rules, so that only see read only allow admin user and user, right, normal user, and write only permission for admin. So this is that actually perfect rules that we have to set it. So go back to again our my DB, real-time DB, and Firebase real time, go to the rules and change it to this to here and publish it. Okay, so once you publish, now you will get that error. So let me sign out and just logged in with HR. So because this user has that does not contain that user and admin, right? So that's why that list also should not be visible. So that I want to show you actually. So once I click, now see, I'm getting that error because this error, this token, whatever token we are passing, right, that particular access, so we don't have access because this is a unauthorized, right? So that for this actually we have to handle that should not be actually throw that exception. That should be a prompt a message, so that we have to handle, so that you can handle in your application. So what I can do, so go back to hotel view list. So where is my hotel view list? It is a main view model, and in this main view model, yeah, this is that way actually. So here what we're trying to do, we are trying to get that now subscribe method and get that information, but in this way actually we are not getting that exception. So that is a one problem. So that's why we have to do, what I will do, I will just simply change my implementation little bit slightly different, but yeah, not same, but yeah, little bit different, but it pretty much same. So let me quickly create that method over here. So first what I can do, actually I already done this one in some of the place, so you can find it over there. So what I will do, I will use same Firebase client, right? So this is my Firebase client along with that token and all. So Firebase client use the child as like we have used that Firebase client child, right? But we have to use previously observable, but this time we have to not as a observable. We can simply use that once async method so that it will get that result. And once I get that result, simply I can just whatever that list, right? We have to add that whatever object, we have to add it over here like that, right? So this is done. And once it's done, so whatever exception we are getting, right? So we have to capturing over here and we can show that user, right? Let me try to run. My application got running, and let me check first admin user. So let me try to log in with the admin user. And yeah, it is reaching over here, and let me continue. So now see, I'm able to see that particular list does not have that image. That is fine. And let me see, yeah, other functionality also, it is completely fine. We can edit, delete as well, so we can edit also, that is fine. And let me try to sign out and sign in with that user. What is the user? For example, user, right? So user have that user access also, and this is also able to see because we have set that rules, right? So both user can able to see that. And if I click that user, so I am able to see that user information, but I don't have an options to add and delete and add, edit and delete, right? That particular user, that is also fine. And let me try to sign out and just logged in with that other user which does not have a permission of that list view as well, right? So once I click, now see, I'm getting that error, and this error just getting for here that permission denied because this user does not have belong to that rules. So that's why I'm getting that error. That is perfectly working fine. And also I'm not able to see that other information as well, right? So like that actually we can prevent that permission and all. And let me show you that side by side for both application, like no, desktop application and Android application. So let me stop this and run it with the without debugging mode so that I can show you both application. This is my window application, and also let me choose that Android, run it this, yeah, application also running. Let me show you the side by side both application. So let me check with this here, sign in with that admin user. In the admin user, I'm able to see that list, hotel list, that is fine. Also I'm able to see the user list, that is also expected. And I'm all able to see that add button, update button, delete button, everything, right? So for example, if I type out, so I'm able to edit also, that is completely fine. And if I want to cancel, so I can cancel as well. And same things I can do, just sign out, yes, and just try to log in with this user login, right? And just sign in. And once I sign in, that list appearing also fine, there's no issue. But yeah, here also fine, like visibility of that tab, because we are allowed to that particular user. So you are able to see that user information, user list, right? But here once I swipe out, right, see, swipe to route, right? So I'm not able to see any option, right? Okay, where is gone? So that is not, I'm not able to see that option, right? And also we are not able to see that add options. That means this user does not have that role to add, edit, delete as well, right? Same things if I just sign out and just sign in with that HR role, which does not have any other access. So once I sign in, now see, first they are not able to see that hotel list because that user does not have that, that is fine. And also they are not able to see that tab options as well. So like that actually we can implement, right? Everything we can implement as a role-based access, we can implement easily in here in .NET MAUI using that Firebase authentication and Firebase role-based mechanism, right? And now upcoming session we will handle this image, right? So see, this image as of now we are getting from directly from here, right? So if you go to the my database I just put that image path, so that's why that image actually loading over here. For example, this is that generic path, I guess. Yeah, this is the generic path. But yeah, what I will do, we actually be using a storage. We have that storage section in this Firebase also, so we will use that Firebase storage, and we will upload our image to Firebase storage, and then we can retrieve and show it over here. So that part is pending for this series, so that will complete in upcoming session. Yeah, so till now, thank you, have a nice day, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share.